Hey guys, it's Robin. How are you? I have a brand new healthy recipe for you to try today, and I've never tried it before. I'm going to try it, and if I fail, who cares? I'm trying to teach my kids that if you try and you do your best and it doesn't work out, it doesn't actually matter, and they're not convinced. So I gotta be living proof of that. So I'm not the best cook, but I have, I've had to, because of all my food intolerances, I've had to really figure out a lot of things about cooking. So I don't love cooking, but it's something I have to do. So at least once a week, sometimes twice, I try a brand new recipe just to keep things fresh in the house, because otherwise I would be quite happy making the same old things every day. It's so much easier for me once you get good at something and get used to it. But my kids eat a lot more if we mix it up a bit. Okay, does that make sense? Hey Amy, how you doing? So here I have some arrowroot powder. So I actually, when I Google a recipe, I usually Google paleo. Not because I totally eat paleo, because I do eat a few grains that I know don't bother me, like some brown rice and some oatmeal. Those are kind of the main ones. But I look for really clean ingredients. Oh, thanks for the likes. So this is arrowroot powder. So this is something that you can use as a thickener that's really clean, and it doesn't bother me at all. And I use it instead of like where you would think of using something like cornstarch. Okay, so I have a 1/4 cup of arrowroot powder. I have 2 teaspoons of dry mustard powder, and I have a teaspoon of garlic powder. That's it. So I'm gonna mix it up. And I'm gonna dip my pork chops in here. That's the plan anyway. And then I'm gonna just fry them for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna just grab my tongs. I'm gonna fry them for a couple of minutes just to brown them on either side, because meat is just better when it's browned, right? When you get that, a little bit of a crispy outside on it, it's tastier. It kind of seals in the moisture. Look at me, I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't really. Okay, these pork chops are gigantic. So we'll see. Hopefully these are gonna cook in time. If not, I'm gonna be screwed for supper tonight, because we actually have to eat in the car. It's one of those nights. My daughter has band practice after school for her school concert band, and then my other 2 kids have swimming lessons right away. So it's gonna be pick up in the car and eat in the car. So then I'm just gonna fry them. That's it. So this flour is really sticking well to my pork chops, which is nice. I think it's always important. See, look at that. It looks pretty good. So all I'm going to do is do this for all of these pork chops. However much flour I have is going to dictate how many pork chops I do like this. These pork chops would almost be better if they were sliced in half lengthwise. They're pretty thick, but maybe they'll be really juicy. I really like the pork chops with the bone in. Those are my favorite. So that's why I was looking for something different to do with these, because they don't have the bone in. I don't know if they're going to be as tasty. I did put up just a little bit of coconut oil in my pan to to brown them. Okay, I have 4. That's all it's going to fit in my pan, and I think that's probably all I'm going to put in my slow cooker for now, because I want them to all be on the bottom so they cook faster, because I only have 2 hours. This recipe is only supposed to take 2 hours, and hopefully that's true. So I have a little bit of the flour left, and now I have a 1.5 cups of beef broth measured out, and I'm just going to add that. I'm going to whisk it together. And then all I'm going to do is put the pork chops once they're browned. Can I type the name of the powder? Yeah, sure. It's arrowroot powder. I'll put it in the comments, but it's arrow, like ARROWROOT. And I can get it at Superstore now here, but you can always get it at like a Whole Foods store, that kind of thing. I could get it at Community Natural Foods, or whatever kind of, if you have an organic kind of natural store, it'll be there for sure. But some of the mainstream grocery stores are starting to carry it now. So that's the thing about when you start looking at paleo recipes and start changing your diet and really being conscious of what you put in your body, that it can be challenging. It can be kind of overwhelming at first, because there's a lot of new things. But trust me, the more you do it, the more you're gonna get to know them, and you're gonna know where to look for them, and it's gonna become a lot easier. Like, I just keep that in my freezer because I don't use it that often, and I don't go through it very quickly. So I just use it once in a while for recipes like this. I better flip these before I burn them. I'm famous in my family for burning things. I don't know if it's something that's good to be known for, but it's totally what I'm known for. And I'm not burning them, so that's good. Woohoo! Okay, I'm just gonna wash my hands. Okay, sorry, I had pork chops all over them. So that's all I'm gonna do. And what I'm gonna do with this meal is I am going to make potatoes for my kids. I don't tolerate potatoes, but they love mashed potatoes, and we hardly ever have them because I don't tolerate them. And we still have some from friends' gardens in the summer, so I'm gonna make them mashed potatoes. And I'm also gonna cook up an acorn squash because I don't love acorn squash, but we still have a couple of those from people's gardens too. And with the sauce from this, I think it's gonna make it super yummy. So that's my plan. And it's gonna be kind of like a gravy, right? So I think it's gonna be really good. So I will let you know how it turns out. Hopefully it's great. But that's what I do a couple times a week. At least once, sometimes twice. I Google a recipe and I just make it and try it. And sometimes, most of the time it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes everybody hates it. But a lot of times my kids just really like variety. And it's good to have variety in your diet because then you're getting a lot of different nutrients, right? You're not just eating the same thing like chicken breast every day. You're not getting as the variety of nutrients that maybe you need. So I think kids automatically know that. Their bodies actually automatically know that, and so they crave that. And I don't cook different stuff every night of the week or every meal because honestly I'd be overwhelmed. I'd be in the kitchen all the time. But I do try to add in some variety, and then I'll have leftovers from this for lunch tomorrow, maybe for supper tomorrow night, depending on how much is left, because these are big pork chops, we'll see. And so that's how I do it. So anyway, I better run because I gotta get these in the crock pot, and I hope you guys have a great day.